I don't like to even using the term dropping out of school. I like to take a specific stand and say pushed out of school. Because I think by saying it that way, it recognizes how the climate of a school contributes to students thinking that it's not safe anymore. Not just contributing to it, students are verbally harassed, physically harassed, excluded, isolated, just all of those pieces that go into it. So coming to school is half of it, and then actually being engaged with school is the second half of it, if there's, if you want to put it that way. The stated objective of the Toronto program is to provide a safer learning environment. So come back to school, work on the credits you need, get the education you want, and also actually study something that might have a little bit to do with sort of who you are. So we're an academic program. There's independent study, so your grade 9 math, your grade 10 history, civics and careers. That's the morning time with some teacher-led classes in science or math. Okay. The afternoons, though, is the unique piece. So every 3 weeks, there's a different focus in the afternoon. So students will, for example, the very first unit, 3 weeks in September, used to be called the Coming Out Unit. So for 3 weeks, the students are reading novels with coming out as a theme, doing some internet research on support, and writing their coming out story, either real or fictional, they're called. Okay. And through it all, they learn how to write a paper, do research, organize their thoughts, and it goes towards an English credit. So the content of the afternoon units is very much focused around an LGBT focus. So from an English unit, with that as a focus, one of the teachers just finished a modern queer history unit, so looking at from like the 1890s. After we get back from the break, there'll be a unit on Holocaust education, so another history social science unit that also highlights some of the particular aspects under the Nazis and the origin of the pink triangle as a symbol the Nazis used, so using Holocaust education. So in that sense, back to one of the objectives of the Triangle program is actually to show students that there is literature and history and some science as well that has what you might call a queer focus. It was when it first opened its doors, it was September 1995. We were a smaller school board at the time. This is prior to amalgamation here in the Toronto area. So we went from about 6 small boards then in 1998 to one huge honking school board. So yeah, the need was quite quick. We filled up with 18, 20 students in a matter of, once the word got out. Yeah. So the program was there. And since that, we were pretty much a one school classroom for about a good 10 years. Then we moved to 2 full-time teachers, and then the number of students could increase, so now we're at 3 full-time teachers. But yeah, from the moment Triangle opened its doors, there's always been students who needed a space, an educational space to come to. And it's not for every lesbian, gay, bi, trans identified student. So many of our students, of course, are successful in their mainstream schools. Lots of factors contribute to that. But there was some political discussions around it. There was, if you go back to the headlines in the 90s, you know, this idea of a gay school. Well, it's a program which is part of a bigger school.
Yeah.
And many of our students would then transition back into the mainstream schools at that time. And hopefully the work that we were doing at that level would hopefully change things, but that's ongoing work.
Okay.
It's just they look forward to school. School wasn't a place where they were going to be spit at, called names, right? It was actually going to be, you could actually go to school and be yourself, and no one's going to target you for that particular difference. When they actually started to read stuff, that curriculum that actually looked like them a little bit, then it was suddenly school was interesting, right? Surprise, surprise, if we make school interesting, students actually do well. You probably have an opinion on that, right, as students. I think emotionally, it's sort of their own social sense of safety. For many of them, it's they're not scared to go to school anymore, and that's huge. I think also students over the years have come with a variety of different challenges, right? The home life has been very difficult. They've been involved perhaps in child welfare. They've been living on their own. They've been living near the street. They've moved from school to school to school.